Pleased to be joined by two-time U.S. Open champion, World Golf Hall of Famer, and a guy who knows a thing or two about Pinehurst as well, Mr. Curtis Strange. And Mr. Strange, thank you for joining us today here at Pinehurst. And first thing, we're out here on the tee of Pinehurst number 2, hole number 4. We have the green of the 5th hole in the background. A lot of changes for these 2 holes coming up for the 2014 back-to-back U.S. Opens. What are your thoughts? You've had a look at them, the restoration, the plans of what's really going to be, I guess, a par 9 for these 2 holes.
Well, I got to tell you first, this is one of my favorite places to ever come, to play golf or just to hang out. But when I first see this, just the first 5 holes, it takes me back to the 70s, my old North-South days or Wake Forest days, because it's very similar to the way it used to be. And I guess that was the whole premise of this whole operation, was to bring it back to the way that it used to be. And when I look at 4, you know, when you first think about 4 being a par 4 and 5 being a par 5, you're not quite sure until you get out here and see it. But quite frankly, it sets up beautifully. I mean, from this tee, the angle, the new bunker, the Donald Ross bunker on the right that used to be there, you know, with the game changed so much, we used to hit it from this tee a lot as a par 5, but the game has changed so much. For these players in the Open, it certainly should be a par 4. We have a bigger green, receiving green, one of the easier greens at Pinehurst, so I think it's going to be a great par 4. And then you turn around at 5, to me, was one of the great par 4s in the world. A little bit of a blind tee shot. Your second shot was off a slope, ball was above your feet, to one of the toughest greens you'll ever play. You have to be so precise. But you know, the back tee, it looks pretty doggone good. I like it. I really do. And I like, because it's a par 5 and it's going to be reachable, you have a very, very tough green where it's not going to be an automatic birdie. So the guy's going to have to hit 2 really good shots, even though they might be able to get on. They're going to have to pitch it really well. And isn't that the beauty of this place, that when you do miss the greens, and you are going to miss greens, the beauty is how good your short game is, because you have so many options. And that's the beauty of Pinehurst, is the options that you have, both around the greens, you know, putting back up, pitching back up, chipping back up, the waste areas around them, the official bunkers. I just love the place. It's gorgeous.
You know, you have a lot of history here,
Yeah.
back-to-back North and South championships here. So you can be an authority on Pinehurst Forest. So as you look at this this restoration, though, and you think back to 1999 when you played the U.S. Open here as well, what are your thoughts of this restoration? How do you think it plays for the U.S. Opens in 2014?
I think how it's going to play in 2014 for both the men and women is yet to be seen. I don't remember in my lifetime ever going to a place where there's no rough. You know, the U.S. Open in everybody's history is tight fairways, deep rough, hard fast greens on a hard golf course to start with. Now we're coming to a very different type golf course, very linksy, you know, waste area everywhere, no rough. So I think so much it depends on luck. When you put it in the waste area, what type of lie you have. You know, I might play here in the Open. Well, I'm not going to play, but somebody will play here in the Open and drive in the rough 2 or 3 times a day, but they could be lucky enough to get it out. You could be unlucky enough and cost you a penalty every time. So that's going to play a factor. I think you really look like you're going to have to drive it well. But I just think it's the way it should be. I mean, it's going to be so different. And I think it's going to be so challenging. And isn't that what the Open's supposed to be? The hardest golf tournament in the world for us Americans. And I just think it's going to be beautiful. And even if they do make a few birdies and shoot under par a little bit more than normal, what's wrong with that? You know, the best player is going to win. It's the most demanding golf tournament in the world.
What makes Pinehurst so special to you?
It's golf. I mean, I grew up on a golf course. My father was a golf professional. I was running carts when I was 9 years old, living all day long on the golf course when I was 9, all summer long, doing everything there was. Anything that maintenance-wise at Pinehurst number 2, I did back in Virginia Beach, Virginia, on our golf course. And so it's all golf community here. That's all it is, and that's what I love so much about it. If I had 6 days before the good Lord took me, I'd want to come here, seriously, and play golf. I brought my kids here before the '99 Open just to play Pinehurst number 2 for the first time for them. And we had the caddies, and we played and counted every stroke, and they got a good glimpse of Pinehurst number 2 and the challenges around the greens and whatnot. So I just love the place. I just think it's pure golf. That's my life. That's what I enjoy doing. It's my love, my hobby. And it's nice to come back.
Well, welcome back to Pinehurst, Curtis. I know it's a special place for you. It's nice having you here. Thanks for coming.
Always nice to come back.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you.